Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Mind, Money, Soul. And today is a very special episode, and that is because one, the podcast has not been live for 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. That is because I took a little summer break because I was off holidaying and festivaling, living my best life, and it's coming back. But also this is an episode that I have wanted to record for a really long time. Now, a little while ago when I was in Ibiza, I shared an Instagram story, if any of you remember, and I was like, oh my god, traveling just makes me like feel things, and I've been having loads of thoughts and epiphanies, and that there's something I really want to do, and I want to bring you all on the journey with me who's interested. And y'all were like, oh my god, me, and I was like, oh my god, okay. So here we are. I am so excited. I feel like I could combust. Now let me give you a little bit of an update first on my life, because it's been a couple of weeks. At the start of August, I went to Ibiza, which was just amazing. I literally had the best time. Oh my god, it was like just 4 or 5 days of just like so much fun. We like had a boat day, we hired a boat, and we had like a little captain who drove us around for the entire day. We went to Blue Marlin one day, which is like this like bougie little beach club, and it was so fucking cool. It has like a private beach and stuff like that. That was amazing. We went to BBC Radio 1 Ibiza, also fucking sick. And then I got back, went on a little holiday with my mama to a cute little caravan, and then I went to Wilderness Festival. Wilderness Festival is something that I have wanted to do for ages, and I literally had the best time, even though one of the days it fucking rained. Classic British weather, but it was just so much fun. I had the best time. I've got so many stories that I can't wait to share with you all. 3 of my favorite things are laughing, dancing, and being outdoors. That is why I love a festival, because it combines all 3 things regardless of what the weather's doing. Like, it's like being outdoors, being with your friends, like there being live music, dancing around. And I'm a nutter when I dance. I'm just like, I don't really care what anybody thinks of me, like genuinely. I probably have some evidence of that. It's been really, really good for my brain, for my mental health, and I've came back feeling like so inspired, so motivated, so ready to crack on with this. Had so many ideas. I'm ready to introduce to you the concept that I have created called, drumroll please, achieving my big happy goal. Hashtag AMBHG. I'm gonna break it down for you what the fuck that actually means. I am a big believer that money is literally just a tool. It is just a tool to help you get to where you want to get to. And I really do believe that there is no one right or wrong way to manage your money, spend your money, like, you know, enjoy your money. Money is something that's really personal to everybody, and there is no judgment ever. Like when I have one-to-one clients and they go, oh my god, I spend loads of money on this, I'm like, I ain't judging you, boo. You can do what you want, but are you happy with how you spend it? So it's down to you. One person might want to spend thousands on clothes, somebody else might want to spend thousands on Ubers, somebody else might want to spend thousands on knitting products. I don't care, but if it's bringing you joy and you feel aligned with that, that's key. So the question is, what is it that you want money for? That is the question that I want you to start to think about. And it's the question that I have been asking myself a lot recently. Now, I've been running my business for technically like 2.5 years, but full time about a year, which is super cool. I had my 1 year anniversary. But what I realized is I was so focused on building the business and, you know, like staying afloat, paying the bills, doing the things, getting a profile, that actually I was like, I'm not acknowledging what I want this money for and like what I'm actually, my bigger goal is. And whilst I was away, I had some real big light bulb moments, some real big thoughts, and that was really important to me. And understanding what your one big happy goal is going to allow you to focus on the why, not on the money, and that will allow you to have a different relationship with money, because you're calling in money, saving money, investing money, managing money in a way that allows you to get what it is that you want. So therefore, money becomes the vehicle that takes you to that destination, not the destination itself. And that is why we want to think about, why do we want money? What is your big happy goal that you are working towards? Now, if you make money itself the goal, it feels pointless because you are just chasing the money, like for what? Whereas if you have a why behind chasing that money, money just becomes literally the tool, the vehicle, the thing that gets you to what you want. That's the beauty of it. Now, people always say to me, Laura, I want to be a millionaire. And I go, okay, great. What do you want that £1 million for? And they're like, freedom. I want freedom. And I go, okay, what does freedom mean to you? And they're like, blank faces. But chasing money itself and chasing an arbitrary number for no reason, I'm telling you now, will make you fucking sad, because the goalpost will always move. There will never be enough, and you will always just be chasing. You'll hit your first million and you'll want 2 million. You'll hit your second million and you'll want 10 million, and it just goes on and on and on. So we rein it in and we go, what is it that I value in life? What is it that I'm trying to create in life? What is it that I want from my life? And that is what we focus on. And then we just use money to help us get there, because money itself is never going to fill that hole that is within you. Whereas finding things that bring you joy, finding things you really care about, finding things you want from your life is going to make you or bring happiness to you, joy. Now, obviously, happiness is an inside job, right? And it has to be intrinsic. Money is extrinsic. But if you think about, like, what do you want from life? Because you really can have anything you want. So what is it you want from life? What really lights you up? Is it that you want to travel more? Is it that you want to quit your own job and run a business? Is it that you want your dream house by the countryside and you want to have a family? Like, what are the things that really matter to you? And they could be things that are in 5 years' time. They could be things that are in 50 years' time. And caveat to this, achieving your one big goal, it's okay if you have more than one goal. And I will get onto that in a minute. When you're really focused on why you want money and what it is you want money to do for you, it can actually be really exciting, and it makes making money and saving your money like fun and enjoyable, because you've actually got an end goal that feels really good, as opposed to having money for money's sake. Like, there are so many millionaires out there, people that have a lot of money, who are really fucking sad because they have inflated their lifestyle to meet their paycheck and they don't get to see any of that extra money, or they work so many fucking hours that they don't have any leisure time, or they don't get to do anything that brings them any hobbies, or, you know, they're relying on money to be the thing to make them happy. But it's that classic thing of, like, money can't buy you happiness, money can't buy you friendships. You have to cultivate those things yourself, regardless of money. But the more money that you have, the more good you can do, the more authentic you, the more of yourself you can be, the more things you can do that bring you joy. So my big happy goal is to be able to travel abroad a lot whilst still being able to work. So for me, the focus is fully on travel. Now, basically what I want to do is I want to be able to be based in the UK, but I want to be able to travel, see loads of different countries, do loads of different things, meet loads of new people, learn about new cultures, eat amazing food, expand my horizons and possibilities from traveling whilst working. So I want to take my business global, baby. Now, whether that looks like working remotely and I'm doing, you know, client calls and workshops from abroad, or whether I'm doing stuff locally in that country, which would be so fucking cool. I haven't decided, well, not I haven't decided, but like that will take place, and I'm open to all possibilities. But the key thing is I want to be able to travel around. Before COVID happened, I saved like 15 grand, 20 grand to be able to travel South America. That was the plan. I was going to sell everything. I was going to go off backpacking. I was going to be like proper nomad. Now, this is before I set up my business. What happened during COVID is I actually set my business up, spent all my lot of my savings on running the business, no regrets. And now I'm like, I'm not in the same mindset where I want to like sell everything off, backpack and like be away for a really long period of time. I want to be able to go away in chunks. Now, what that might look like, my ideal scenario is that I can go away for a quarter of the year, basically at least 3 months per every year. Now, that might look like one big 3-month chunk. It might be 1 month per quarter, or it might be 1 week every 4 weeks. I'm open to whatever. But the key thing for me, the driver for me, the motivation for me is to be able to travel. Now, this year I have been to Dubai, I have been to Mallorca, I have been to Ibiza, done a couple of places in the UK, but I've travelled a nice amount, and every single time I've come back feeling so fulfilled, so refreshed, so excited, and I want that feeling to maintain. Travel is my #1 top thing that I'm going after. Now, I don't know how long I want to do this for. I might want to do it for a year, I might want to do it for 5 years, I don't know. But right now, I'm childless, I'm single, I have no pets, I have no mortgage, it's just a little old me, minding my business. Why not be flexible and be a nomad and go around everywhere until the day where it does come, where I do want to settle down, or I do want to have children, or I do want to buy a house. But right now, those things are not in my immediate plan. I am like ready to go and travel the world and see people and meet people. And that is what really lights me up. Like, I remember when I came back from Australia in 2016, and basically what had happened is we were in Australia for like 3 or 4 months. We like travelled around, we worked, we stayed in Sydney, then we travelled the East Coast. Then we came to Asia and we did Bali, Malaysia, Cambodia and Thailand. Now, obviously Asia is, in my opinion, it was harder to travel than Australia in regards to like taking a toll on your physical body and all that kind of stuff. So when we were in Thailand, we actually booked our flights to Melbourne to go back there to work a bit, but we also booked our flights from Melbourne back home to the the UK because we were in the mindset of like, we're done traveling. Then what happened is we got to Melbourne. I was having the best time and I kind of wasn't ready to leave, but the flights were booked. We were kind of running out of money, so we kind of didn't have a choice anyway. And I came back and I was like, I still need to travel. And that was 2016. A couple of years later, I moved to London, was really loving my London life, but I was like, the desire to travel is still in me. I just know it is. Then COVID happened. So it feels like it's been like 7 years of up and down of, am I going to travel? Am I not? Do I want to travel? Do I not? All these things, you know, even like down to the point of like, oh my God, all my friends are settling down and they're having kids and they're getting married. And I was like, oh, maybe I turned 30 this year. Should I not be doing that? And then I was like, fuck it. I can do what I want. This is my big goal. So there you go. That is what I'm sharing with you. This is my big, exciting goal. Also, how cute is this outfit? I'm obsessed. So if you're not watching this on video, I have got this cute little green play suit on. It's adorable. It looks so cute. I bought it from the Zara in Ibiza and I just love it. It's also so much cheaper out there. Anyway, let's get back to it. So let's talk about the reason why I am not yet traveling. Like, why am I not yet doing this plan? Why aren't I just doing it right now? One, my business is still pretty new. I'm still figuring shit out. I'm making income in loads of different ways. I'm learning how I like to make income, what my ways, you know, preferred ways of doing. There's so much I still have to figure out. So that's one reason. And the other reason is that because I still want to have a base in London, I obviously need to be able to have the cash flow to afford to still have my place here and to then be able to travel. So flights, travel cost, all those things. Obviously, things cost money. And my brain hasn't been focused on that financially. My brain has been focused on bringing money into the business and making it work. Now my mindset is switching to, okay, now I've got a good flow of what I'm doing. I've lasted a year. I'm still going strong. How do I now direct that money in a way that's going to help me reach the goals that I want? Because that's actually why I set up my business. I set up my business so I had the freedom with my time, but also to travel. The question that I asked myself is, what do I need financially to meet this goal? To be able to meet my big happy goal of being able to travel and work abroad for at least a quarter of the year, I have identified 3 things. One, I want to have a £5,000 cash reserve. I want savings of about £5,000 for emergencies. Number 2, I want to add an extra £10,000 to my investment account. And number 3, I want to be making on average about £7,000 a month through my business in cash flow so that I can meet what it is that I want to do. So what I'm doing with this part of the process is I've acknowledged my why is it that I want money, and then I've gone, what is it I need to do to get there? Because a lot of the time it can be so easy to come up with these goals or these dreams or these lifestyles we think that we want, but we don't always make the connection to what we actually need financially. Now that's going to look personal to everyone, because somebody else in my position might go, I don't really care about having anything in savings. I want to make sure that I've got £100,000 in investments and I want to be able to quit my job. Like, everybody's different. So these are the things that I have come up with. So now let's talk about the why. Why am I doing this? Why have I broken it down like this? Oh, well. First of all, travel. One of my top life values, and I guess also financial values, is adventure. I am an adventurer at heart. I'm really into numerology. So if anybody's into numerology, you'll know this. But basically, it's all to do with numbers. It's a little bit like zodiac signs, but it's numbers, not signs. And there's a lot of the number 5 in my chart. So the number 5 is all about new faces, new places, new spaces, all the new things. And I love it. If I ever go somewhere, I really do like to be able to just like explore and wander. And I'm always like, oh, who am I going to meet? Or what am I going to see? It's like this desire within me. I just love like going around. So even like when I went to Ibiza this year, I went out a day early before my friends. So I could have a day on my own exploring. I love being outdoors. I love seeing new things. You get the picture. That is my why. So it's really important that I incorporate that in. And I definitely think after COVID, 2 years of not being able to fucking go outside, do what you want, travel. And I love hiking as well. Like, I used to hike mountains all the fucking time, and I haven't done that in ages. And what I don't want from my life is to get old, to get to like 80, 90 and look back and be like, the one thing or one of the things that I really fucking wanted to do was travel. And yet I always made an excuse. I don't have enough money. I don't have the cash flow. The business isn't ready. Or I'm just not prioritizing it. That would be like the worst thing for me. And it's not about not having regrets, because that is life. But this is one thing that actually is in my control. I just need to prioritize it. And I'm ready to prioritize it. This bitch is ready to go global. Now your goal goal, like I said before, might be to do something completely different. Everybody is different. You might have a goal of wanting to set up a new business, of wanting to set up a charity, of wanting to have your own holiday home, or a really nice home with a swimming pool, or maybe yours is to travel, or maybe it's to be able to have 10 children, or maybe it's none of those things, and it's literally, you're like, I want to be able to go on one really fucking luxurious holiday every single year that costs me like 10-20 grand, right? Everybody is different, and that is okay, but it's identifying what your why is, what you want, and claiming it and going after it regardless of what anybody thinks of you. And it's so easy to push it away because it feels unreachable, because people are going to take the piss out of you, because you don't actually think you're worthy. All of those things can go in the bin, and we're ready to actually be laser focused and to crack on with it. That is what I'm doing, and I am ready. Now, those above mini goals that I just mentioned are important because they're going to allow me to actually do the things that I want to do. So for example, the savings, having money saved in an emergency fund is going to be really important. So that could be anything from a travel emergency whilst I'm away down to emergency at home. So just having that money there as a safety blanket is really important. However, I don't really want much more than £5,000 because when it's sat in a savings account, it's not really doing anything. Now, I want money in my investments. The reason why I'm focusing on investing more is because travel is not necessarily an asset. Travel isn't going to make me money, it's something I'm spending money on. Now, obviously in itself, the paradox of this is traveling is an investment because I'm going to have new experiences, I'm going to meet new people, anything could happen. But in regards to finances, travel isn't an asset. So whilst I'm traveling, I want to make sure that I'm making the most of compound interest and that my money is growing behind the scenes so that I'm building and working towards financial independence whilst I'm still having a good time. Now, for anybody who has done my investing course or listens to my podcast about investing or anything like that, you will know the power of compound interest. It's time in the market. The longer you can be investing, the better. So if I can do it now before I start traveling, or at least whilst this process starts, I am going to be laughing. And basically, I don't want to spend the next couple of years traveling around, not really thinking about my finances, having a good time, and then getting back and being like, fuck, I've just missed out on a couple of years where my money could have been growing behind the scenes. And this is the key thing of being able to enjoy your money in the now while still growing your money for the future. You can absolutely do both. I can still invest my money and become a millionaire in the future and travel the world and see it all. That's how I view it. And you can do the same too. So I want to make the most out of my money now so that my older self, my future self, is thanking me. I want to be able to retire comfortably. I want to be able to retire on £1 million. And there is this thing called the rule of 4, which basically means that when you meet £1 million in investment, you could then draw down a £40,000 like salary or income for yourself every single year, and that money will basically regenerate itself. So you will never have to worry about money again. That's what financial independence is. It's not relying on a job to bring you an income. It's you've got enough assets that's creating an income for you to live off of. So if I can meet that amount, obviously I'm not going to do that within the next year, that'd be lovely, but if I can meet that amount in the long run, by the time I come to retire, we're winning. So the sooner I start and the more consistent and the more I stick at it, the better. And finally, the reason why I want £7,000, or why I sort of set up or decided that specific amount for the cash flow of my business, is 2 things. One, I need that consistent cash flow so that I have got money to live off of, I've got money to run the business, and I want to be able to do work in other countries, so I want to be able to fund going there when I do work there. But also, when you go VAT registered, that is when you make over like £85,000 a year. So I'm trying to keep myself just below the VAT threshold, and I can do a whole nother session on this if you're a business owner or you're self-employed or if you run a limited business. But when you go over the threshold, you technically need to make at least an extra 20% on top of that money. You want to be making more like £105,000 because that is literally the amount that then goes to VAT. So to even make it worthwhile being VAT registered, you need to go way over that marker. And actually, I'm quite happy with, for the short term, you know, the next couple of years, making £7,000 a month, every month through the business, which will pay me, pay all of my business fees, hopefully be able to get a bit of a bigger team, all of that stuff. So that's what feels good for me. Now let's get on to the real important part, which is the how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to save all that money, invest all that money, bring all that money in? And this is part of the fun part. This is part of the journey that I'm going to be bringing you on. So obviously I've told you my goals now. You want counting on my goals, you know what I'm working towards, and I feel really excited about sharing it with you because I feel like you're going to keep me accountable. I have to do things daily, weekly, monthly to keep me on track. Now obviously I've spoken a lot about the money, I've spoken a lot about the numbers, spoken a lot about the goals, all of that kind of stuff, but the how is like what I'm doing to get myself there, and that is what is rooted in the mindset stuff. I have already done a lot of work on my mindset. I've come so far from the little old 16-year-old Laura that worked at Argos and she used to like hoard every single penny that she got, through to the 22-year-old Laura that spent 15 grand traveling and learned how fucking cool money was, right through to the Laura that was scared to set up her own business and go self-employed, right through to this Laura who is running her own business full-time, making money and getting ready to take it to the next level. However, new level, new devil, so there's always mindset to like stuff to do, and I am ready to do more mindset work, and that's the stuff that I'm going to take you through. Now I basically have a plan to set a bunch of practices and habits in place for me to do daily, weekly and monthly that are going to allow me to improve my mindset and change or improve my relationship with money, really build that abundance mindset and call more wealth in and help my habits around money. I am ready to practice what I preach. Now in James Clear's book Atomic Habits, which is like one of my favorite books in the entire world, I talk about it all the time, he says this thing where he says you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Love. So basically, what systems and processes do you have in place that are going to help you get to your goal? You can have a goal that you feel so excited about, so motivated about, but if you don't have habits and systems in place that help you on a daily and weekly basis, you ain't ever going to hit your goals, honey. So that's what you have to focus on. But that's actually kind of nice because you set yourself this big goal and you go, fuck me, that seems like a lot, but then you just scale it down and go, what do I need to do on a short-term basis? Some of the things that I'm going to do are visualizing, meditating, journaling, having like money mantras and money affirmations, prioritizing feeling good and prioritizing my creativity, working through my own money block and being able to make more money, and practicing mindful spending. So there's some of the key things that I'm going to do. Now I'll do a whole nother video, a whole nother podcast specifically on how I'm going to do those things, and I am going to share all of the things as I go along on Instagram and TikTok, so you can follow me along on there. They're the things that I'm going to do. Now just to touch on this, in August I had my biggest revenue month, but I also really focused on having fun, bringing joy into my life and creativity. Now I'm not saying that you just make more money by being on holiday and going to festivals, but I had a month or two where I was like really stressed about work, I was comparing myself to others, I was stressing about money a little bit, and I just needed a financial reset. So the start of this summer I just made it a real point to go, okay, I need to step back and I need to like fucking shake this shit off and step back into feeling good, because you can only attract more money from a place of feeling good, because obviously that energy is what you're putting out and that energy is what you got back. The second I started to do it, the universe was like, okay hun, here you go. And now it has been proved to me, it has reinforced to me that I am ready to go in. I am ready to level up, people. Now I am doing this for me, but I am also doing this for you. Now for me, this is because this is what I want from my life, to be able to travel and see new places and make new memories and have incredible experiences is what I desire so deeply. And whilst I have a lot of friends out there like I said, having weddings, buying houses, having babies, and that's what they want, that's not what I want right now, and I have to honor that. To travel right now is my key priority, and that's what makes me really, really, really excited. So I am doing this for me so that I don't look back and go, that was something you really wanted and you let something get in the way. And obviously at some point I would like a partner, I would like to fall in love. Who knows, it might even happen while I'm traveling. Who knows, maybe I'll even bring out a dating series, traveling. Oh my god, we could be onto something here. Anyway, that aside, that's why I'm doing it for me. Now I'm also doing it for you because I want to show to you that no matter who you are, where you come from, what family you're from, what situation you're in, you can go after what you want. If you have a dream and you want to go after it, you can use money as a tool to get you there. Money doesn't need to be this scary, overwhelming thing that makes you greedy or selfish. It's actually something that we can go, fuck yeah, we're going to use money to go get what we want. For me, I'm going to use money as a tool so that I can travel the fucking world. So what is it that you want? What is it that you want to use money for, and how are you going to make it happen? And like I said, there's going to be loads of regular updates on my Instagram, my TikTok, all of the things, so you can follow along. This is the start of the journey, honeys, and I'm so excited to bring you all along with me. So thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I can't wait to bring you on this journey with me.